The mainstreaming of the terror in Pakistan continues. On your screen is a global terrorist, the mastermind of the horrific 26/11 attack in Mumbai, in which 166 people were killed. Hafiz Saeed remains the fountainhead of terror, yet the man the world wants behind bars is openly going about his business in Pakistan, right under the nose of the military, which claims it is fighting terror and which China has been defending. The Pakistani establishment is propping Saeed up as a political force. The global terrorist himself is not fighting next month's poll, but he's fielding candidates. He has launched the election campaign and has been inaugurating party offices. These are the visuals of Saeed inaugurating the election office of his political outfit, Milli Muslim League in Islamabad. His son and son-in-law are among the 265 candidates fielded by MML for the elections. And I'm also joined by Amar Shaheen, senior journalist from Lahore, Pakistan. Mr. Shaheen, my question to you is that, is it really beneficial for the Pakistan's democracy for a person who is designated as a global terrorist, Mr. Shaheen, to be mainstreamed? Does it benefit Pakistan? Does it benefit Pakistani civil society? Or does it benefit Pakistani democratic institutions? So we'll try to go back to Mr. Shaheen. It's a bit of an audio problem with Mr. Shaheen, but the fact of the matter is that this is a cause of grave concern, because not because he's a designated terrorist, but the fact is that the records prove that he was involved in terrorist activities in 26/11 mastermind. But there is a larger ethical, larger moral problem which Pakistan is also dealing with. So, Mr. Shaheen, my question to you is, how does it benefit Pakistani democratic institutions or the democratic forces within Pakistan?
Well, the simple answer is that it doesn't benefit Pakistani democratic institutions or democracy in Pakistan. And perhaps that is the reason why such actions are being taken in the first place. Mainstreaming different ethnic groups is very welcome, but mainstreaming the people who are terrorists or great sympathizers of terrorists does not only delegitimize the democratic process in Pakistan, it also makes it impossible for real democratic forces to emerge in Pakistan, to emerge as powerful entities that do not get toppled over by the establishment, be it the military establishment or now the judicial establishment as well. So these are designs to weaken the democracy from within. And the most alarming part of all of this is that some of these hardline pro-terrorist political parties are not, it's not that they have no basis on the, it's not that they don't get any votes when they contest for elections. They get around 5,000-10,000 votes from a constituency which has around 100,000 votes or so, vaguely speaking. So this is a big concern for the people of Pakistan, where it's not just that they're being allowed to contest the elections, which is despicable. It's also they're garnering a lot of support, which is a very scary thing to think about.
But Mr. Shaheen, isn't it a big challenge for the modern educated civil society of Pakistan, which is getting hemmed in by the conservative elements or the hardline elements on one side and the moneyed elements on the other side, because it is this nascent middle class, I would say, which actually in most of the democracies define the way the policies are made.
I mean, this is the way it's always been. Just before the elections, even now, we have this Muttahida Majlis-e-Amal, which is a collection of religious political parties. And in the beginning, they criticized the military establishment, but we've always seen that as soon as they have any position of power, they are completely dictated by the military establishment and the powers that be. So it's very easy to control the elections when political parties that are religiously inclined, that do not have a vast majority of voters, when they are allowed or helped into getting into power, then alliances, the grand alliances that the establishment has been forming, we cannot say for this particular election that these, there is no evidence, but the evidence always comes later on, where because of the lack of any kind of punishment possible to the military dictators and heads and generals, they come themselves. The Asghar Khan case, they came out and they said, yes, we took money and we paid politicians and we created this grand alliance to beat the actual political parties of Pakistan. So, I mean, even this time, there are grand alliances being formed, and there are particular political parties who are being very openly supported by the establishment, and they're not even trying to hide it, because in Pakistan, the elections are of the electables mostly. So the electables are people who invest in elections and they know they're going to win. And they want to invest in a political party that is helped by the establishment. So the political parties are not trying to hide it, that they are being helped. Actually, they leak this information to the media and they want their impression to be like that. The establishment is behind them. So the electables join them, and people who want to be in power become turncoats.
Thank you, Mr. Shaheen, for joining us.